A furious battle for supremacy, the BMW X5 versus its fiercest rival, the Mercedes ML. This is serious stuff. We're sending the premium SUVs out on an exacting handling test track and then into off-road terrain, where the going gets really tough. The contenders: the ML CDI 320 and the X5 3.0D, 224 horsepower up against 235. Big, strong, and invulnerable. The typical SUV characteristics are evidenced by both. Massive radiator grille, bold styling, the premium models radiate confidence and even arrogance. Since 1995, the Mercedes ML has been on the market. True to the off-roader recipe, it displays its muscle without apology. The prominent wheel arches and the broad-shouldered build differentiate the ML from previous models. Odd that the rear-view mirrors are so tiny, more suited to a family compact. The X5 is much better in this respect. And has grown 6 centimeters wider too. Up front, new headlights have been installed. In spite of being lengthened 4.85 meters, the new X5 model seems actually smaller than the first-generation models. At the back, the lighting array has been reworked too. The newly designed daylight lighting adds a predatory touch. When an X5 looms in the rearview mirror on the highway, better move over. With its sporty look and elegant facelift, the Colossus, made in Bavaria, wins the beauty contest by a small margin. The BMW X5 has no problems on mountain roads in foul weather. But how about the off-road performance? The intelligent all-wheel drive system, X-Drive, comes as standard. Even faster than in previous models, the multi-disc clutch controls in about 100 milliseconds deliver the power to the wheels with the best traction. Normally it sends 40% of the power to the front and 60% to the rear. Under control on the way down, no problem. Downhill assist is also a standard feature. Height adjustment for off-road tours and differential locking options are not to be found here, though. The 21 centimeters of ground clearance are insufficient for really difficult terrain, and the gradient attack angles of just 25 degrees at the front and 22 at the back makes for some moments of anxiety. The X5 is no hill-climbing star, but given the lack of previously mentioned assistance, it doesn't do too badly off-road thanks to pure traction. The ML does offer as extras reduction gearing and 100% lockable mid and rear axle differentials. The result is the Mercedes mastery of 100% gradients or 45-degree slopes. The off-road package adds €2,100 to the price, but the height adjustment system is also a prerequisite, and that's another €1,900. But it increases ground clearance from 21 to 29 centimeters, 8 more than the X5. Also, the reduced overhang at the front gives a generous attack angle of 27 degrees. No squeaking of protest in the interior, no matter how twisting the track. The ML workmanship is of the finest. Off-road, the ML is the winner over the X5 by several lengths. €51,400 is the price well-off Mercedes customers will be prepared to pay for this kind of elegance. The middle console is well-styled, and the chromed vents are reminiscent of the Audi TT. Gear shifting is American style on the steering wheel. The cockpit is well laid out. Everything is where one expects it to be. The uninspired finish of the previous model belongs to the past. The comfortable Napa leather seating costs €3,300 extra for living room luxury, perfect for longer trips. And even in the back, there's room to stretch the legs thanks to the longer 2.93-meter wheelbase. The family's golf bags are easily stowed in the up to 2,050 liters of load space. In comparison, the BMW X5 has a capacity from 620 to 1,750 litres, points scored for the ML, which is also 5 centimetres taller. The BMW's interior is well conceived. Here, the massive dimensions and the materials employed are in perfect harmony. The luxury SUV par excellence. New are the 3 setting levels for the air conditioning. And another BMW innovation is the electronic gear selector. It is comfortable and intuitive to use. The driver learns quickly that just a small hand motion does the job. And he doesn't even have to touch the preset radio buttons. In an instant, the favorite channel can be heard without complex recourse to the iDrive menu. The leather sports seats are first class. Thanks to the wide range of possible adjustments, the driver soon feels at one with the automobile, at a cost of €5,000 over and above the price tag of €52,000. While both vehicles can be termed luxurious, the sportier and fresher style of the X5's interior is our pick in this comparison. Time for a performance check on the tight corners of the Austrian Motor Club's handling test track in Saalfelden. The V6 common rail diesel gets from the 228 horsepower ML a massive 510 Newton-meters of torque, 0 to 100 in 8.6 seconds. There's adequate power here to tow a 3.5-ton horse box. The ML itself weighs in at 2.2 tons, and in tight corners the rear end suffers. But there's ESP available to cut in when necessary. The suspension is comfortable, taking charge of uneven surfaces smoothly. The steering is sure-footed on the straights, less precise though in tight corners. The 7-gear automatic is a bit sluggish. For moderate driving, the ML's power plant calls for 9.6 litres per 100 kilometres. The inline 6-cylinder motor of the X5 has, at 235 horsepower, 7 more than the ML and uses less fuel. According to BMW, consumption is 8.6 litres. With 520 Newton-meters of torque, the X5 has no trouble powering its 2.2 tons ahead. In just over 8 seconds, the BMW hits the 100. Top speed, 216. On the winding handling test track, the XL is definitely superior to the ML. It hugs the road better and subjects the driver to less swing and sway. The active steering works just fine, even in the narrowest stretches, even without adaptive drive, which dampens things even further. But even without it, the premium SUV is almost as agile as a normal sedan. For this part of the test, the BMW is the winner. Its handling and its power plant set new standards for this vehicle class. ML versus X5. Supremacy at the highest level is at stake here. Comfort versus driving dynamics. 2 different philosophies. An outright winner is hard to determine. The ML incorporates traditional Mercedes virtues, impeccable workmanship, excellent comfort, and off-road capabilities. The sloppy steering and the awfully high price are minus factors, however. Minus points for the X5 are also its high basic price, but even more, the BMW optional extras policy, compensating the great drive dynamics, the potent power plant, and the superb seats. In the end, it's the BMW X5, but just by a hair. It's a premium SUV at home on the highway and entirely adequate for moderate off-road excursions.